going on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis Exile, right back at you with another episode of Check This Out. The show we take a look at, make a troll deck, rogue deck, casual deck, or a meta deck. And don't worry, I'm not wearing the mask all day. I just wanted to wear it for the first bit. But anyway, we got ourselves today on the beginning of a couple of decks we got via our Discord. This one was sent to us by our boy Harry Yu, who we haven't heard from in a while. So very interested to see what he cooked up. And he's cooked up something pretty interesting. It's a combination of Vaylantz, S-Force, and Mekk-Knights. Gotta work on a good anagram for that. But we got ourselves our deck here today. We can show off wombos and combos of plenty of the what do's and what do's ahoy. That's what we got here. We're going to be abusing the column mechanic. Going first and second on this one. Haven't had as much time to play test this one in particular, but I played Vaylantz, I've played Mekk-Knights, I've played S-Force. It's been a while on all three, but I remember how they work. Therefore, we're going to go for it, show off this deck, have ourselves a good old time. Very casual-minded deck, but I think it's got the potential to show off some really cool plays. So we got ourselves our deck. If you want to know the whole profile, it'll be at the end as always. And for now, let's go into the action, hit up all the good buttons below, and enjoy the show. Alrighty, everybody, it's time for our first opponent, another day and another card game. So with our deck, we can go first or second. Honestly, with the Mekk-Knights and things, I would actually hesitate to say we should be going second more often than not. But we'll see what our opponent's up to. We'll see what kind of hand we get ourselves into. It's an interesting start. We have our Vaylantz Priestess. We have our Vaylantz Barn, so we got some good stuff there. We've got our Bridgehead, so it's an interesting assortment of things. We're going to get something involving Morganite, which is cool because it means no hand traps. Tricky because that might mean this is like a troll deck. We'll find out in a minute. We'll see how it's going to go. But if nothing else, I have Joragumo, so that's something. So we'll see where this is going to go, because the S-Force is strong with this opening hand. Let's see. Add a Vaylantz spell. Yep. And this is the one that lets me move stuff over. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and start off. Actually, I'm going to start off with my Security Force Bridgehead. This is a field spell. Originally, this was in the side deck, but I find that the ability to search out more S-Forces, very useful. Very useful to have. So we're going to activate Bridgehead. And this is going to allow me to add my Edge Razor. That way I can summon this boy out, summon another S-Force from my hand, get bodies after bodies. For now, though, we'll get our Shinamo, the Vaylantz Priestess. And we'll summon out our Vaylantz Buster Baron. That way, well, we can't Pendulum summon, which would have been really neat. I can summon both these monsters to the same monster zone that are in that column. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring out our Water Priestess here. Put her right here. And once per turn, she's going to get me one of my Vaylantz spells. Now, we're only playing the field spells, but that's still something. So let me think. Which is one of these? Two more good. Target a monster in their own spell trap zone. Effect my opponent's being in the same column as one of the monsters they control. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the blue one. We're going to get the blue one so I can put this thing into this column. So we're going to go ahead and activate our Vaylantz World. Every time you activate a Vaylantz World field spell, your opponent gets the opposite one. How about Shumba? And now we're going to go ahead for Baron, bringing him onto the board. Let's see. Now I'm going to put that up on the board. Let me double check Baron's other part of his effect. Because if this guy gets moved, I can target a card in either place Pendulum Zone. Oh, no, that doesn't help me too much. I'm going to go ahead and activate Buster Baron's effect. We're going to move over our Vaylantz Priestess. The Vaylantz is kind of an interesting bunch because they are column-based. And they also like to switch their columns here and there. So that's what we're going to do here. I don't remember what Priestess does when she moves columns, but I'm pretty sure it's a good thing. It lets me another monster. And that's what I want to do right now. Get monsters for days. My opponent has no idea what I'm trying to do. Vaylantz have not been played in a long time. So my opponent's probably just confused and confundeled. No idea what I'm trying to do. But we'll move up our Priestess here and get myself another monster. Now, as to which monster I need to remind myself. Let's see. I know I can special summon this. I think this is the one that lets me fusion summon. Yeah, if it moves. But I'm not going to be able to move her at the moment. So, let's see. Target a Vaylantz monster. Move that monster. And then I can move my Baron. Thinking. I just bring that back. I can bring that out, and then my opponent can't play their set cards. That is also a thing. I'm going to go ahead and get the Duke. Mostly so I can get another body on the board, partly because I'll be able to do something with the darn thing. So we'll see how this is going to go. I need to hurry up a smidge. Just a smidge, because I'm running low on time. Like I said, I didn't have as much time to play test this as much. So I'm really going by gut feeling, which there's nothing wrong with. I feel that more players should go by their gut feelings. I don't know. It's just something that doesn't get done as much. So let's go ahead and target one of them set cards. If they want to play it, they have to play it now. They'll have to play Zoma the Spirit Man. Okay. So this is something to do with Zoma to some extent. Let's go ahead and summon out Security Edge Razor. And we can't use... Oh yeah, I can't special summon anything but Vaylantz, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and use our spell here. I'm going to put Zoma here in the spell trap zone, because it's going to knock out whatever trap they had right there, and Zoma is no longer a thing we need to worry about. Granted, they have Tiki Soul, but who cares? Who cares? Tiki Soul, small. Tiki Soul is a small card, so for now, let's set a couple of cards. And let's see, what can I summon? I can summon a whole bunch of things. What do I want to summon? Let me think. Let's see, you can only summon things from the extra deck. That's true. I could summon out my Silhouette Hat Rabbit. So I think that's what we're going to do. We'll summon out our Silhouette Hat Rabbit, because that's going to get me one of my trap monsters, which is Kuibiko. So we'll put that there right here. Let's see. Negate that monster. Monster at the height of opponent. Turn the hand. Just it's an effect stopper. So for now, let's go ahead into Yield in battle phase. Let's beat over all the things. Beat over all the things. And see, I mean, he has a negate of unattack with Morgana, but he can't stop everything. He can stop one whole attack, and that is it. Alrighty, this will work just fine by me. We'll take care of Tiki Soul. I will mention, because he has the other field spell, he should be able to... Well, actually, I don't think that works on trap monsters. We'll find out, I guess. Because if they had a monster in the spell trap zone, he could bring it back. And if there are 2 cards in the field zones, but currently the only things he got is a trap monster, so we'll find out. We'll find out. But for right now, this is roughly where you want to be with this deck. That's what we want to have around here. I do still have Kuibiko, so we're just going to have to... We'll wait for him to summon something first. Then we'll go for Kuibiko, put it over here, what have you may. And, yeah, probably shouldn't put Razor's Edge here, but this is fine. For now, though, we'll activate our own trap. Go ahead for Kuibiko, put that in defense mode. So if my opponent tries to play any of his dang nasty little monster effects, I can do something about it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pop one of my opponent's back row cards. Usually the first one they set is the bad one. Absolutely was. 120%. Alright, so no Statue Anguish pattern for you unless you have a spare one. We'll find out in a hot second, I don't know. But this is what we want to do. This is why Silhouette Hat Rabbit is nice in this deck, you know? I mean, it's a little interaction, but it's those little interactions that really makes a deck pop, you know what I mean? It really do that. Really do that. Okay. So let's see. Next turn I can use Rappa Chiyomaru, good old Little Knight before she was Little Knight. That's going to allow me to banish it. Well, if I had an S-Force in my hand, I will be able to do something with that. But otherwise, I can still just hit my opponent pretty hard. You know, that's all I really need to do right now. Let's see. If a card in the spell trap is special in the monster zone. Actually, funnily enough, Silhouette Hat Rabbit might be broken in this case. Because this, I believe, works on my opponent's monsters too. To the monster zone. Yeah, it's any monster. It doesn't say my monster zone. So I think I have the perfect counter to my opponent's deck. Quite possibly. We'll find out. Oh, hey. Orifist. There you are. Very nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to summon out Chiyomaru. And we're going to use Chiyomaru's effect. We're going to go ahead and banish Orifist here. Bounce back Chiyomaru. And that's going to allow me to bring out Platina. Or it would have, but my opponent unfortunately surrenders. But that was going to be the cool part. I was going to summon Platina. She was going to bring back Orifist. I would have all the big monsters on the board. And that's what this deck likes to do. So, despite the fact I haven't played these cards in a while, it's not that hard to figure out. You know, little trick with the Vaylantz sometimes, but otherwise it's all about just putting some column things on the board, getting them S-Forces around, having them on the board, messing with things in your opponent's columns, and then you have a whole bunch of tricky things, traps and things, to interrupt your opponent. And honestly, it was kind of a perfect storm with the Silhouette Hat Rabbit. Very cool tech card, and it really does mess up trap monster decks, because it kind of annihilates everything they want to do. Because that's like a... Is that a once per turn? Let's see. Yeah, it is a once per turn, but still, that was pretty dang good. So, good for us in the first duel. Get an idea of what this deck's trying to do. So let's go for duel number 2 and show them more what this baby can do. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. This time we go full on tiger. Okay, maybe not full on tiger mode. I have this mask. It's a really cool one I found at a yard sale, but at the same time, it's super stuffy and it's like really, really humid. So I'm really just gonna wear it on my head like this. Makes me look like some sort of crazy travel chieftain man, which is only half of what I actually am. So anyway, we're gonna be going second here, which is totally fine. Once again, we got bridge head stuck to my hand, which I'm grateful for, despite only having one of the darn thing. I'm not a big fan of Centurions being here. Kind of a try-hardy bunch that be, but we'll see where this is gonna go. We'll see. I would prefer going first against that, because then I would at least have S-Force Dog, which would be something. We'll see where this is gonna go. Apparently my opponent has a bum hand, and I am fine with that. Alrighty. So now it's our turn. Let me think where I'm gonna go with this one. I'm thinking we start with our bridgehead, because that's just where you like to start. Honestly, with the S-Force part of this deck, I would actually kind of recommend having more of this in here, but that's just my opinion. That's just my little bit of something there. So let's go ahead and summon out our Edge Razor. We'll put him right in the middle. I don't think it really matters where he goes at the moment. Now, all the S-Forces do have effects for when they are in the same column as somebody else. It is pretty nifty there. Unfortunately, my opponent's going to imperm this, which not a big fan of, but we'll see how this is going to go. Let me think here. Let's see. Target S-Force, you shuffle the deck, summon a banished S-Force monster, which I currently was trying to do, but that didn't happen. So, what we're going to have to do here, funnily enough, the Vaylantz strategy doesn't really work on Centurions too well, considering they kind of want their stuff put in the spell trap zone, right? Let's see. This card normally supposed to add a Centur-ion. If this card's continuous trap, you can summon it. Oh, doesn't this turn into a spell? No, that turns into a spell. Ooh. Although, again, he has the field spell. He can, like, do something about this. But either way, I gotta do something. So let's go ahead and activate our Dominator Duke. And we're gonna summon that boy onto the board, so I at least have something here. See, that's where Imperm really hurt this deck quite a bit. Is that I was really gunning for, like, a big combo there. Really, really nice big combo. But we'll just have to see where that's gonna go. And I think we just leave it at that for now and go in for battling. Just go for battle. Because I like to keep a S-Force on the board so I can use my dog tag. So because if I summon this thing out, I can do so if I have an S-Force. And if I put this in the same column as somebody, anything my opponents that hits the graveyard, what was it this thing does again? Your opponent can activate the effects of monsters in the same column as S-Forces. It's just pretty dang nasty if you get enough of these on the board. For now, though, see, I can make nice chase. Each of your opponent's monsters same column as an S-Force cannot target the monster's same column for attacks, which will be cool. Main phase, S-Force. Yeah, again, if I had a banished guy, that would be great, but I don't. But thankfully, Primera is a spell now, so he has to use Shinor to bring this back. But if he activates his field spell, this will be stuck, at least temporarily. At least temporarily, we'll see. We'll see. This is a bit very touch and go thing. My opponent bricking definitely helps, but it doesn't take a lot for Centurions to unbrick themselves, so we'll see. We'll see, but for now, Primera is stuck unless he actually reads how this card works. We'll see. We'll see indeed. But if he does summon, like I said, I can get out my... Ooh. He didn't read the field spell. That is what I like to hear. Alright, let's summon out another Edge Razor. I want to get out Shiamaru. That's what I like to do. What are you going to effect? Oh. Ah. Disgusting. Hand traps. No wonder this dude's bricking. He's got nothing but hand traps. Me? I got no hand traps. Well, I have the Watt Puppeteer, who's kind of a hand trap in this deck, but I don't need to rely on hand traps. I can just punch my opponent. You know, I'm going to punish this guy for relying so much on these gosh darn hand traps. Oh, you had Bestial Magna Hut, I see. Alright. Well, thankfully he did that, so I'm going to go ahead and summon out my dog. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that, unfortunately. Thinking. 3 effect, including S-Force Man. Let me think about this. I need to do something about this. Can I do anything with my boy Duke at the moment? No. Let me think about... Oh, yeah, I can do that. So let's activate Koenig. Let's just put this in the spell trap zone. Bachumba. I mean, granted, he might be able to do something about it anyway, and I probably could have attacked him there. But it's neither here nor there. I'm just thinking what I want to do. Because part of me wants to keep all the S... I want to go into S-Force Justify. I just feel like it's a little early to do that, you know what I mean? It's just a little early for that. So for now, we'll go for our Silhouette Habit Rabbit. Go ahead and get Kuibiko on the board. Or I could get Joy-Gumo, too. That is true. But this is a monster effect heavy thing. So I feel Kuibiko is better for the moment. For now, we'll see where this is going to go. Unfortunately, I couldn't stop Magnum Hunt. I tried. But he's going to get himself another Bestial. Alright. Well, that's not ideal, but it is what it is, regrettably. So we'll see where this is going to go. So, standby, I could bring back my dude. Let's see. We'll wait on Kuibiko. I need to be cautious with that one. I need to be cautious. See where this is going to go. Yeah, so Lebellion's going to go to the graveyard. He's going to search out Druidworm. Because, of course, he's going to get Druidworm. Why wouldn't he? Let's see. No, not much I can do for that. Regrettably, he's banishing. Well, actually, banishing that's not a problem. As long as I can get into Platina, that's the thing. Alright. So he's going to go for his Bestial Druidworm. Then he's going to get rid of it for Lebellion, as you do. And then, let's see. Alright, well, regrettably, he's targeting my junk, so I'm going to activate Kuiboko now. Not that it's going to help me, because now it's a bit too late, but... You know, at least I'll have a monster on the board to continue doing what I want to do. Let's see. Let's see. Tricky. All those hand traps. He didn't really play that many hand traps, but he played enough to bother me. Just enough to be a pain about it. So what we got? Branded Beast. Target and destroy my stuff. And sadly, Kuibiko does not protect against traps. Only monsters. Would have been great if this was on the board for Effect Veiler, but not at the moment. So what is this doing? Tribute to Dragon, target card upon controls and destroy it. Okay. So, destroy my card. I think he's reading what my cards do. Oh, he's getting rid of the field spell. Okay. I mean, doing that means you can't use Shinra Bansho now. Kind of a misplay, man, now that you can't use that. You can't bring out Bestial Magnum Hunt. See, if you'd read what this card did, you would have known that. Also, you summoned a monster in the same column as myself. Granted, you're going to go for Wake Up Centur-ion, so it doesn't matter. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's going to Synchro Summon, huh? Not ideal. But if my opponent's dumb enough to put a monster in either of these columns, we're still okay. Okay, he did do that. Good. Alright. Huh? Oh, alright, it's only my main. I always forget the dog tag's not that good. It's only my main face this thing does work. It's such an annoying thing. It sounds so good on paper, but then you read it and it's like, oh wait, this doesn't actually work the way you think it does. Okay. Not the problem. What did he add to his hand? The trap card. What does this do? Spell trap or monster effect activated. Send a face-up monster or spell trap zone to the grave, negate, and destroy it. Ah. Not ideal. Okay. And then what does this do in the end phase? Place a non-single Centur-ion as a trap. Okay, that's going to make this infinitely harder. Regrettably, I just did not... The fact that I wasn't able to get, like, Gravino and things set up really did not help here. That was the thing I was going for. You know, when you get Chiyomaru involved in these duels, things go way harder for you. You just get all the different S-forces on the board. You get all these different monsters in the different columns, and your opponent just doesn't know what to do themselves. Now what is this doing? During your main phase, basic card, send it... Oh, okay, foolish bearing yourself. Okay. I was like, what does this do? Okay. Because I assume he's going to get... let's see. Target Centur-ion Synchro in the grave. Summon it, loses 1,500. Okay. Recovery for later. Cool. But the more important and problematic thing for me is that now he's going to get Primera back, and that's going to allow him to get things started up again. I'm not a big fan of. If I still have my field spell, that'd be fine. But I don't. Alright, so with all that said and done, Ski. Let's see. Target S-Force gets a special summon a banished S-Force monster. And this guy gets special summoned. I can do stuff. Why not? Let's be snarky. Let's summon out S-Force Night Chaser. This is a nice little link monster. It prevents my opponent from attacking things in the same column as like the S-Forces. So, like basically, if Centur-ion was here and I had an S-Force here, Centur-ion couldn't attack that monster. We're gonna use Night Chaser's other effect. I can shuffle back Night Chaser into the deck, bring back one of my S-Forces that is banished, and that's gonna let me get back Razor. Razor will get me Chiyomaru. And if that doesn't work, I can just, use Rapid Chiyomaru. That works just as well. Yeah. As one would expect. As one, let's see. S-Force, a monster opponent. Activates its effect, banish S-Force in the hand, destroy that monster. That would have been nice, but no. Let's go ahead and go for Rapid Chiyomaru and see where this is going to go. Because at any point, he's just going to be like, oh, I activate Primera's effect. But no, let's go ahead and banish Lapcell. Let's see. Yeah, this could work. This could work just fine. I was going to be smart about this. So we're going to get Platina right here. When Platina gets special summoned, I can revive an S-Force monster. I'm going to put that over here. We're going to go ahead and use S4 Lapcell. He's going to bring back one of the S-Forces in my graveyard, that being Edge Laser. Put that over here in attackative mode. And then my boy Edge Laser is going to activate his effect. And we're going to bring out Orifice. I can't believe we used this so early. Foolishness. Foolishness, truly. Alright, well, so we should be pretty set up for here, because let's see, his Primera, what's this do again? Add a Centur-ion card, indeed. So let me think about this. I could just crash this. Let me think. Because his monsters are losing attack points, and that's pretty good. Or I could just go for Justification, which is also pretty darn good. And this would be bigger. Okay, so we're going to use Orifice, Razor, and Quebico to summon out S-Force Justify. Not only is he bigger than Oxala, but if my opponent tries to use a monster, I can negate that monster's effect and then move him to the same column as Justify. Justify has a pretty nasty effect. When he battles, you can banish everything that he points to. It's pretty brutal. So we're going to attack into Oxala, and that's just going to straight up banish the darn thing. Let's see. No, it's the other effect I'm waiting for. There we go. Start the damage step, then you do it. Gotta be careful with that one. Gotta be careful. So it's attack with Lapcell. And we should be, well, we're back in the business. We're back in the business. We're up against Centur-ion, and I'm kind of kicking his butt. That could change at any point. We'll find out. Because he can still bring back his dude. He still has Primera. Gonna bring back Primera. Indeed. I'm going to go ahead and negate that because I don't want you free searching. And I'm going to move you over here. Because I can move you wherever I want. Alrighty. I'm setting myself up for disaster, I know, but I'm gonna be happy with it until something bad happens. Let's put it that way. Alright, so Primera is just a tuner. It's still a tuner, but it's just a tuner now. Okay. It's Gargoyle. Okay, Gargoyle is doing its thing. Alright, what does Gargoyle do? Let's see. Nothing, pretty much. It summons itself out, and then it can bring itself out as a trap and junk like that. And yeah, Bestial Rebellion is back on the board again, as one tends to do. Let's see here. No. I could be wrong, but no, I'm just, I don't want him. Oh, wait, no, he had Branded Beast, I forgot. Well, he was going to do that anyway. He was kind of do that regardless of what I did, but that wasn't good. Not necessarily, but I still have something I can do, maybe. We'll find out. Branded Regained is here. Okay, that could be a problem. Provided I summon anything. Oh, you're gonna banish my stuff, and then you're gonna to draw another card. Okay. My boy is banking a lot here, but it could pay off. If he gets another branded or another Primera or something of that nature. We'll see here, but it's not over. It's not over. Not at all. Okay, let's see what my opponent draws into. Factory's waiting means he drew something. Let's see where this is going to go, but it's not. If it was Primera, he would have summoned it right away. He would have definitely summoned it right away if it was Primera, so it's something else. It is something else. What is it? Synchro Rumble. Bring back a tuner. Oh, balls. It's essentially just the same as getting Primera. Oh, boy. Alright. That'll get you another Centur-ion card. That name is Field Spell. Boy. I mean, it's what is, but at the same time, I don't care for it. I mean, I can make another Justify, and that's probably going to be the play here. But I think, you know what? Even if this guy does come back, which I have a feeling he might have a chance to come back here now he's got his Field Spell finally on the board. You know, I'm happy with how this deck is working so far. I mean, the deck's doing what it wants. Granted, the Mekk-Knights have not done Bubkiss thus far, but you know, once I get purple, maybe I'll tech in the other copy of purple just to see a little bit more of that action. We'll see how it goes. But my biggest concern, let's see, what is Memphis's biggest concern? Drawing another S-Force is one big concern. Wait, I've already used my Edge Razors, so I can't get that. Well, let's see. So that's going to draw you another card. Destroy monster with high attack. Yeah, there goes Lapswell. I was about to say, that guy could have gotten rid of Legacia if he had lived, but he didn't live. So now everything hinges on the top deck. If I top deck good, I still have a chance. If I top deck bad, I'm dead, pretty much. Alright, so what do we got? Legacia, going to put something in the columns again. See if that dog did better things for me. If it negated stuff during my opponent's turn instead, that would have been great, but no. Alright, what do we got? Marquee, you say. Alright, Marquee it is. Seeing as I just happen to have, alright, I don't have the field, so I just activate this. It doesn't do me any good. Let me think here. Unfortunately, there's nothing else I can do for the moment other than, we'll see. We'll see what my opponent does, and then we'll call it or not. I mean, if I could top deck into an S-Force, maybe, possibly, get Gravino going, that's just going to be the thing. Unfortunately, we started really damn good in this duel. Absolutely beautifully. Everything was set up perfect. I might have used Justify just a little early. That might have been the thing, but, you know, he would have just branded Beast me anyway. So, we'll see. Let's skip ahead till this dude's done with his turn, and we'll see if we have another turn or not. Bad news is it's under Cosmic Blazer Dragon, so unfortunately, yeah, and also you had the spell. He did have this spell too. I don't think it matters too much, but yeah, pretty sure we just lose here. Regrettably so. Regrettably so. It was an awesome back and forth for a long time, and dang, we were doing pretty dang good against Centurions, man. Doing pretty dang good. But unfortunately, there's not a card I have that can get around Blazer Dragon, so at least we draw into. And dang it, I'm gonna go out on my own terms. Dang it. Okay, Jirai Guma, I'm really appreciative of you being here. Really, I am, my man. Thank you very much for doing the thing. But unfortunately, it's too little, too late, my man. Just a little too little, just a little too late. But you know, I'll summon out Chiyomaru. You know, she might not have been able to do what she wanted to do this duel, but she will be the final act here. After my opponent synchros again, I'm assuming another Crimson Dragon. I'm assuming going into Giant Red Dragon Arc Fiend that negates and destroys everything. Whatever that is, I forget what his name is. The Nova guy, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? This guy, yeah, Red Supernova Dragon, yeah. Alright, well, regardless of that, I will summon out Rapid Chiyomaru, and we'll see if this guy's a cool dude or not. He probably knows, yeah, this duel is over. But I will attempt to, let's see if this guy passes vibe check. Let's see if he passes the vibes, if he's a cool dude or not. Probably isn't, but you never know. Yeah, he's not. Not a cool dude at all. If he was a cool dude, he would have let me attack. But regardless, let's go ahead for duel number 3, final duel. pick ourselves back up. I'm going to attack in some of the Mekk-Knights just to get a little bit more of that action because we didn't really get to do that much in the Mekk-Knight division today. So I want to see if we can get some of that going. Alright, everybody, our third and final opponent, the fight in third. Hopefully going to go second here because I just want to try for the Mekk-Knights one more time. And we'll see where this is going to go. Okay, no Mekk-Knights, of course, but I have Chiyomaru. So that's at least something. It's not the ideal thing, but it is technically still something. So we'll see where this is going to go. Pot of Prosperity, you say. Okay. Always interesting when people play Prosperity. Because it implies that he cares about his extra deck to some degree, but not a lot. You can always tell whether, like, people who play Pot of Prosperity or Extravagance, whether they care about the extra deck or not. But this implies that they at least care somewhat here. Alright, so this is Yosenju's. Okay, Yosenju's don't really care about the extra deck, so I guess he just really wants to dig for that certain card. Okay, Lava Golem. Gotta be careful about that. Gotta be careful about the Lava Golem, because that thing will tribute off my whole board if I let it. Also, I saw Spear Mode there, too. So this is some sort of trolley sort of deck, something like that. More Morganite. I gotta say, ever since Morganite came onto the scene, every other troll player wants to abuse this thing. Which makes sense. You know, troll players, they slow you down, bog you down, all that good stuff. And they can really abuse the Morganite line. Especially just like the original Morganite, but you can also use like the other two. Not as much, mind you, because troll decks are more about stalling than anything else, but they can still abuse stuff. So the longer he has this on play, the worse it is for me. So we'll see where this is going to go, what he got. Kama, I see. So which is this one? Let's see. This is the one that gives you, normal summon. Go for Shinchu R. And let's see. Monster opponent controls cannot target Yosenju's attacks except for this dude. Okay. Go for Bagusk. I figured as much. I had a feeling it would be the Bagusk. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do here. I got Indigo Eclipse, which is great, but it doesn't help me at the moment. Let me think about this thing. Alright. Here's what we'll give it a shot. It says, banish from the grave, to the same as the opponent's monster, events come from the okay, so here's, oh wait, no, if I go, I'm going to special summon Indigo Eclipse, just to have a monster on the board. Have my boy about. It's gonna, okay, this is gonna, this is gonna be very, very risky, but I really don't have an option here. So I'm gonna summon that Chiyomaru. I don't really have another option but to do that. Much as I really don't want to do it, I kind of have no other options here. So we're going to see where this is going to go. Gets to some... Oh, yeah, he has Lava Golem. What am I doing? Let's see. I mean, he might Lava Golem me. That is a potential thing I'm going to have to deal with, but hopefully he doesn't. We'll see. We'll see. It all depends on, like, what he's trying to do. Actually, did he get Lava Golem? I saw it, yeah, he got Lava Golem, so we know he has Lava Golem. Is he going to summon it now is the question. There's a good possibility, and if he does, I'm kind of boned. Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead and... I should not have set Specimen. That was a very silly move on my part. Let's go ahead and activate our S-Force Chase. I'm going to go ahead and bounce a Baguska for now, so I don't have to deal with the darn thing. Now, regrettably, let's see. Do I have an S-Force in my hand? No, I don't. Let's see. Banish an S-Force card in your hand. Throw this card to the hand. Why is she... Oh, yeah, because I can banish... I forgot I could banish Chase for that effect. That's me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bounce Chiyomaru. And we're going to go ahead and get Gravitino onto the board on defense mode. This is going to be another S-Force card. And that way, I can do some snarky things. Now, I got to be careful. Again, he's got mother flipping Lava Go. So really, it doesn't matter what I do, does it? So really, I should just focus on doing as much damage as possible. And hope that this dude does not run, I don't know, some kind of hand trap of some variety, like a Karibo. Let's hope he doesn't run Karibo, because that would be insult on injury. So let's go ahead and put our Indigo Eclipse in attack mode. Activate our Koenig Wizard, because that'll give me my other field spell, Abachumba. That way, I can go for my Viscount. Get lots of monsters on the board. Let's see. Bring out the Viscount. Put him in attack mode. What does this guy do again? Let's see. Sometimes place a Vaylantz pendulum into the extra deck face up. Let's see. So this doesn't really do me any good other than being a beat stick right now. Okay. So let's beat stick the heck out of this guy. I mean, he just wants to slow the game down. I'm going to slow his life points down. Let's put it that way. Sadly, I don't have enough to do lethal damage, which would have been great. Because he's just going to kind of lava golem me in a minute. So I got to think of how I'm going to preempt what happens next. Let's put it that way. Let me think about this. Because I could use... Well, I can't use Conic Wizard right now. So what I'm thinking is... let's see. Discard the Link Summon. I don't have anything I can discard for that one. Don't have any banished monsters at the moment. So I'm thinking definitely going for my rabbit. I'm going to go ahead and use my Viscount. And I suppose Yugioh. Don't think it matters too much. Just put a monster on the board. And hey, this lets me revive with Specimen if I ever need Shiamaru again. So that's something. Go ahead and our Silhouette Rabbit. I'm going to put Jirai Gumo right front and center. See where this is going to go. And I'm going to go ahead and use Mekk-Knight Indigo as effect. Not that I need to. I'm just doing it because we're finally getting the Mekk-Knights in, so I might as well use their effects while I can. And, yeah, like I said, he's got Lava Golem. So I can't do everything I'd like to do. I kind of have to just kind of like sit here for the moment and see where this is going to go, you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. My opponent just needs to have a monster. And we'll see where this is going to go. It could be a very tricky thing, because he got the Lava Golem, we know that. He still has two... Wait, hold on a second. Remind me Lava Golem's restriction. It's like you can't summon the turn you play this, right? Yeah, you cannot normal summon the turn you special summon this card. Okay. Alright. Gonna play the Guilt Gripper. Okay. So that's the thing. He can normal... Can he normal summon Lava Golem to his side of the field? I think he can. No. No, we can't do that. Okay. Okay. I will say, one thing I'm curious with this particular build, why, there's the Mekk-Knights and stuff. But we're not playing any of the Mekk-Knight traps and things. I kind of want to do that myself on Master Duel or something, just to bring some old school fear to people. Good old-fashioned Mekk-Knight board lock. But I'm curious we're not playing any of that in this build. But that's, that's neither here nor there. So what do we got here? Yosenju Magat here. Summons a Yosenju from the deck except for himself. Interesting. Really waiting for my opponent to put something into one of these two zones. I mean, again, I got Prey of Jirai Gumo, and he puts any monster here. I can just annihilate the darn thing. And that'll also activate Silhouette Hat Rabbit. So I can destroy my opponent's back row if need be. Let's see here. What does this one do? Destroy monsters that he battles into that are not winged monsters, I see. Let's see. Target S-Force control by the monsters. No. I'm going to have to wait on Specimen for now, I feel. We'll see where this goes. Oh, now you're playing. Isn't it a little late to play this? Let's see. Once per turn, if Yosenju returns to the hand, which these are going to do, target card opponent controls return into the hand. Okay. And then you got, oh yeah, you got your Pendulum Big Boy. You have Pendulum Little Boy. I think it don't matter too much, but you could. Okay. So we will lose up to 3 of our monsters. That is true. So Gravitino is being threatened here. I'm thinking here. I'm going to wait for a hot second. Because, yeah, that's going to immediately destroy Gravitino, sadly. But I can just bring back Gravitino after all is said and done. And that'll be good. I can use, use Specimen, bring back Gravitino. And he's got the Whirlwind, which I think in after battle phase is over. We're going to activate Prey of the Jirai Gumo. Because I want to get rid of Yosenju Whirlwind, and thankfully my rabbit will let me do this. I don't trust him bouncing my cards willy-nilly. That's his thing. He can do that. I don't want him to do that to me. So let's see where this is going to go. Because he normal summoned these things, right? Yeah, he did. So these are all going to be bouncing themselves back, and that should, again, barring hand traps and things. Oh, balls, what is this doing now? During the animation, return this card thing. Okay. Yeah, so everything he owns goes back to the hand now. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, this is an interesting duel. Oh, he keeps this one. Okay, that's fine. I think. Alright, let's go ahead and activate our S-Force Specimen Lab. This will bring back my Gravitino, Alba Chumba, because that'll let me get another monster. Let's see, what do I want in this particular situation? I don't think it matters too much. Because I can use, let's see, use my field spells, do that. Wish I had another S-Force card. I do have Retractive, which can be used as material for links and things. And this will let me get back a monster. Difficult decision-making time. I'm going to go ahead and get Showdown for the heck of it. We've pretty much won this duel. It was an interesting opponent, but I'm going to put Yosenju Magat in the spell zone where it belongs. Get that out of here. And we're going to activate our S-Force Showdown. This lets me get back one of my boys from the grave. Let's get back little Chiyomaru. Even though I can't use her effect, she deserves to be on the board one more time. So that's... Actually, hold on. Can I do... I don't have the Vaylantz stuff. Let's see. I want to just double check I can do this thing. So we're going to summon out our Hojo, the Vaylantz Warrior. I'm going to go ahead and use my Silhouette Hat Rabbit. Just another thing that this card is really good in this deck for, so I can do that. I'm going to activate the Column Switch spell, which lets me switch Hojo into another column, like so. And if I had another Vaylantz, I could have Fusion Summoned. Okay. But that's fine. We don't get to use the X deck so much this duel, but that's fine. Silhouette Hat Rabbit, really the only card this deck needs to do that. So, let's... Indigo, you can have it, Indigo. Go right ahead. So, good on us. I think that'll be good for today. I wish I had more time to do this one, but I think it's okay. Let's go ahead for the end screen. We'll talk more about this deck here. Alrighty, everybody. So, our Vaylantz Mekk-Knight S-Force deck. I'm going to call these ones... I'm going to call this deck Column Capers. I think that sounds like a cool name, but that sounds like a cool name to me. I don't know what you think, but Column Capers did pretty darn good. When I got this deck, I was a little hesitant, I will admit. I wasn't quite sure where this deck was going, but oddly enough, it's got a lot of great synergy to it that I was not expecting. The Mekk-Knights, when they decide to show up, they let us abuse the columns. My opponent's got stuff in those columns, so I'm going to be able to do lots of stuff, build big bodies on the board. I got my Vaylantz cards, which let me do more crazy things. It's a deck with so many contradicting and, crazy effects to it that, my opponent's really not going to know what to do with it. They're not going to know what to do with it. They don't know what my strategy is. They don't know what my plans are. And we're able to confound and confuse people with just a whole smorgasbord of different things. The S-Forces come in, swoop in, save the day, knock my opponent flat on their butt. That's what this deck likes to do. And we scratch the surface with this deck. Unfortunately, that sometimes happens with the show. We show up this tantalizing glimmer of what the deck can actually do. We go able to show up a good chunk of, the main deck for the most part. Extra deck, we didn't get to show up, the Vaylantz fusions as much, but honestly, the Vaylantz just didn't show up as much in this build because the S-Forces really took it to them. The S-Forces did today. But I really enjoyed this deck quite a bit. It's a very interesting one, thanks to Harry Yu, again, from our Discord. And I believe he said a friend of his helped him with this deck as well. Yeah, I just double-checked the Discord. Yeah, he and a buddy of his made this, so good on him. So I'll say, as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. If you want to see this deck, if you want to download this deck for your yugioh Pro, it's going to have a file on our Discord, which is linked in the description. And if y'all want to send a deck to our Discord, I look at all of them. That's what I do. I got another one coming up soon after I build the darn thing, and I got, Ryziel Trap Tricks also to build. So lots of decks coming down the pipeline, and I'm looking forward to all of them. If the next one works half as good as this one, I'll be quite happy. So here is the deck profile for everyone who wants to just hear what the deck profile is and go for, try it out yourself. So for our main deck, I did change it up slightly from the original. We got 2 copies of Mekk-Knight Purple Nightfall, so I can, get myself some nice Mekk-Knights on the board. We got to go into Eclipse. You can change whatever column he happens to be in. We got Vaylantz Dominator, the Duke. I'm not going to read every effect because I don't remember half of these things in their lines of text. All you need to know, got the field spells, free monster on the board, move them around, cool stuff happens. We have Hojo, the Vaylantz Warrior, who's the poly in the deck. I remember that one. We have Yellow Star, who is our spell trap removal. We got Esport Lapswell, which if he lives, or if he just needs to do it on your turn, can nuke all your opponent's monsters in the same column as S-Forces. We got Platina, who brings back the Banish cards. We got the Vaylantz Ninja, who's got purple hair. We've got Vaylantz Marquis. We got Blue Sky. We got S-Force Gravitino. A lot of 1-ups in this deck. But a 2-up being Orifice, we have one Puppeteer, which can be these are one-hand trap. You can switch monsters in the different zones of my opponents, basically. I can put them in a column of an S-Force, you know, negate its effects or what have you. 2 copies of Edge Razor, bringing out more monsters to the board. We got Viscount. We got Vaylantz Archer. We got S-Force Die Gamma, which sadly didn't get to show up despite being 2 of these darn things, but we have him around. He's there if we need him. We have 2 copies of Rappa Chiyomaru as one of our big playmakers there. We have 2 copies of Buster Baron and 1 copy of our Vaylantz Priestess, along with 2 copies of S-Force Retroactive. We have 1 copy of Column Switch, which is an interesting little quick play spell. You know, switch cards in the columns. That's what it does. 2 copies of S-Force Showdown, which is just for good for bringing out monsters in the hand or getting cards back from the graveyard. I tucked in the 1 copy of S-Force Bridgehead that was in the side deck, and I have to say that I would honestly play more than 1 of this card, but that's just me. Maybe 2 of this thing if you want to keep it compact. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's a really good card for just getting more S-Forces to the hand. We have 1 of each of the Vaylantz field spells, because you really only need 1 of each, because 1 activates the other one. You know, this lets me put my opponent's stuff in the spell trap zone, and I can put, you know, bring those monsters back as well, but that rarely ever happens, but it is a thing that happens sometimes. We have S-Force Chase to bounce things on the board. We have our Specimen to revive our S-Forces. We have Kuibiko, which is just a neat little trap monster. Prevents my opponent's monsters from targeting my monsters. I just, you know, what was it? I can set this card back in the spell trap zone, negate that thing. And, what was it? I can also bounce it if it has to be the biggest monster on the board. It's a very tricky trap. Very tricky trap. We also have Frey the Jiragumo, much more straightforward. Summon him as a monster. If he's in the same column as somebody, blow up that monster. We have our Beast King Unleashed trap, which we didn't sadly get to use. But if we battle monsters in the same column, I can return my monster and all the cards in the same column back to the hand. Really good for disrupting my opponent. And then we have Iron Thunder, which is a counter trap card, which pays half the life points, negates cards, and then destroys every card in the same column is that card was on the board. So, really nasty trap card. Don't use it often, but it's there if I really need it. As for the extra deck, I feel like some of the cards disappeared from the extra deck. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how the extra deck got messed up there, but I fixed it. Anyway, so for our extra deck, we have 2 copies of Arctos 12, which I'm not going to remember the whole effect off the top of my head, but I know this can, like, switch cards and zones and blow up a whole bunch of stuff. We have 2 copies of Vaylantz United, which is a big old monster that can place monsters in the spell trap zone just as well. 2 copies of Vaylantz Genesis Grand Duke, which is nice and big and stuff. We have 1 copy of Mekk-Knight Supreme Spectrum, which is, you know, the big Mekk-Knight boss monster, so that's the thing. We have Grand Sulfur Coolio, which is kind of an end of the rainbow sort of thing. Gets stronger for every Pendulum monster in the extra deck, so it can get reasonably big, but you rarely make the darn thing, but it can happen. 2 copies of S-Force Justification, you know, being our big monster, pretty much the boss monster in the extra deck, other than, you know, Arctos 12, because he can target monsters, negate their effects, move them to the columns that he points to, and then if he battles any of the monsters that he points to, get banished. It's really, really powerful. We have 1 copy of Topological Trizbana. Really nasty if my opponents are relying on spell traps and things of that nature. Don't use it often, but it's nice to have it around. 1 copy of Mekk-Knight of the Morning Star, which just lets me search out more legacy cards and things, which I don't have any of. But basically, it's there to protect the Mekk-Knights more or less. It's kind of a weird card in this deck considering we're not playing more Mekk-Knight spell traps, but that's besides the point. We have our Silhouette Hat Rabbit, which is pretty much the boss monster of our links. That lets me search out my trap monsters. I play my trap monsters, or anybody coming back from the spell trap zone to a monster zone will trigger this and let me pop a back row. It's pretty dang nice there. And then lastly, we have 2 copies of S-Force Night Chaser, which prevents my opponent from attacking S-Forces in the same column as themselves. I can also target an S-Force I control, put it back in the deck, summon back a banished S-Force. So good recovery, good board maker, that sort of thing. Very easy to make. All the good stuff. So for our side deck here, we have another Iron Thunder, another Specimen, another Chase if I need any of these things. We have Die Dance, which is a nice card on my, I could screw with my opponent, force them to play cards in certain columns, that sort of thing. You can only use it once per duel, so it's kind of a flavor card, but there you go. The deck originally had one copy of Infirm, which I think is kind of odd, but so I decided to not play the darn thing today. You know, don't need to play Infirm and everything. We have, of course, our one copy of Staring Contest, which has a very weird effect. I don't remember the entire thing. It's something about moving cards into different columns, much as you would expect in this deck. It's really good if you can set up a lot of S-Forces, but it's very situational. We have another Showdown if you need it, another Switch if you need it, a couple of the S-Force dog tags we took out from earlier, but it's another body on the board, and depending on what S-Forces you have, nothing wrong with running the darn thing. It's not that good, but it does add to another material, another S-Force on the board. If you have everything set up with like Gravitino and Platina and all the good stuff, it can mess your opponent up a little bit. Speaking of Gravitino, we have another one of him and another Platina if you find you need them. This thing's like Mekk-Knight Orange Sunset, which can... What's this thing do again? It summons Mekk-Knights from the hand if it gets destroyed, which is not great, so it's an option, but not a great option. You have another S4 Lap Swell, which you can play another up if you want, but I find that one is plenty in most decks anyway. And then lastly, we have Storm Shooter, which has its own effect for switching columns in of himself, and he can bounce cards of your opponent if he happens to, you know, be in the same column as somebody. Granted, he's level 7, and we rarely get to pedal him in this deck, but maybe you can get him out on the board. There's nothing wrong with Storm Shooter. It's very much a flavor card, you know. I think he's really cool. It just, you know, I took him out so that the Mekk-Knights could do things. So that's today's deck, everybody. I hope you very much enjoyed it. Next time, I believe we were looking at a dinosaur deck, so looking forward to that. So till next time, just stay safe, stay happy, and y'all have a good one. Take care.